TheRathercast.
Here we are again on TheRathercast, where every week we present to you a family-friendly Would You Rather question. I am joined today, as always, with my hosts and children, Ender and Elodin. Hello. How are we today?
Good.
Awesome. That's great to hear. We've been enjoying our summer and kind of getting to the end. Are you excited for school to start?
Yeah.
Kind of. You'll be in third grade. You'll be in
Graduating elementary this year.
5th grade. When I was little, elementary went through 6th grade in Ohio, where I grew up. And then middle school is considered 7th and 8th grade, and then high school is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. But here, middle school is 6, 7, 8. And then, although it didn't really matter for me because I went to the same school. I went to a private Catholic school from 2nd grade all the way until 8th grade.
So didn't you say that it made it so you didn't feel special until you were in
What do you mean I didn't feel special?
8th grade? Because you didn't get to feel like you were at the top?
Because, I didn't get to have that, because, next year's special for you because you're the oldest kid in the school. You and your fellow 5th graders.
I'm not the oldest.
No.
There's some 12-year-olds.
Some 12,
I think there's one.
Sure. But it took me all the way until... Actually, there was... At my school, it was a little different because you'd go through the first... Up till 4th grade, you were on the first floor, and then you felt like you were kind of graduating because you went to the 2nd floor for 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was kind of cool because it was a big building. But anyway, I digress. We are going to bring you a fresh Would You Rather. But first, today's episode is brought to you by... Screen Time. Are you tired of spending time with your own children? Can't afford a babysitter? Try Screen Time. Now available on TikTok.
Or YouTube. Or Hulu. Or Netflix.
YouTube. Oh, yeah.
Or Netflix.
That was the first of our...
But, Daddy, that's a horrible idea. No, not pretend.
Oh, that's a real advertiser. They spent real screen time. Gave us real advertising. Now, your ad could appear in the Rathercast in the future. Anyway, today's...
But Daddy, that's a horrible idea.
Oh, you don't think screen time's good?
I love screen time.
Sure you do. I was telling Elodin yesterday, I was like, when I was little, they didn't call it screen time. They just said... I guess they call it screen time to encompass all of the different screens you have available to look at. Because when I was little, there was just the TV. And you had to watch whatever was on it at first. And then eventually you got a VCR and you could go rent a cassette. A VHS cassette and push it in. Now you can watch screens on the TV, the computer, the phone, the tablet.
Not to mention you could play games.
Yeah. Eventually I got games, but we had to play the games on the TV. So if someone wanted to watch TV, but I was playing Nintendo, I had to stop playing Nintendo so that they could watch TV.
Why wouldn't they have to stay?
Because I was the youngest out of 7 kids, so I pretty much never got what I wanted. Well, that's not true. I was pretty spoiled. Okay, so wait.
Doesn't Nintendo have a screen in the middle, or not that kind?
Not the first Nintendo. It was a big box you had to hook up to a TV, and then when the cartridges didn't work, you had to blow in them like this. And then you shove it in and push it down, and then cross your fingers and hope that it actually worked. And then it wouldn't work, and then you pull it out again. You blow in it. We should try and get a classic Nintendo so you can experience the frustration and pain. It's not so easy as it is on a Nintendo Switch anymore. You just load it up and it works every time. Oh my gosh, so spoiled. Okay, so today's Would You Rather. Would one of you like to introduce it? Or should I? Ender's got it. Okay, would you rather
be 1 inch tall or 100 feet tall for one day?
1 inch tall or 100 feet tall for 24 hours. Or at least for your waking hours. So very, very big. 100 feet tall is pretty big.
For your sleeping hours,
Oh, you have to sleep. Oh, okay. Full 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it's 7 in the morning. You're waking up. Are you going to wake up 1 inch tall?
Wait.
Now let's plan one thing. Either way, you get to prepare for your day. Okay? So, meaning you get to choose where you're going to be, what kind of things you might do that day, and you can.
Yes, but those are things you'd already do.
Well, I'm saying you have to make special preparations. You can't. I couldn't sleep here if I was 100 feet tall. If I'm going to go that route, okay. Now, what's interesting to me off the bat about this one is that the two choices present sort of opposite safety problems. If you choose to be 1 inch tall, you are very vulnerable for that amount of time.
Let's say that you would, like, it's an experience. So if you get stepped on or die in that hour...
Or if you die. Oh, great. Getting real dark here on the Rathercast today. Continue.
Then you don't get to do the experience, and the next day, you're back alive regular.
Oh, I see. If you have an accident, then it's just like you've missed out on the experience. I was going to say, my point was that if you're very small, then you're in danger. But if you're very big, then everybody else is in danger. So you have to be extra careful because if you're 100 feet tall, you might accidentally hurt somebody else.
And if you're 100 feet tall, how big are your feet?
Well, everything scales up. Very big.
Like 6 feet tall?
I'm 6 feet tall.
I know. So is that how big his feet are?
Oh, like the foot itself would be? Yeah, I don't know. We didn't do the math on the scale, but 100 feet's pretty tall. Right? Mm-hmm. So here's why my initial... Do you have an initial thought, Eldon? Did you want to say something?
No sharing the answer like you did previously.
Well, that's key. He was so confident in that other episode.
Well, it would be easier and it would cost less to be 1 inch tall.
Interesting.
Because if you're 1 inch tall, you can sleep in a bed and you can be inside all day, not having the danger to be stepped on.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Also, like
you could build a Lego thing and then jump in it, and you would have like this fun of experience.
You could buy 1 grape and eat all day. I mean, you probably get tired of grape after a while, I suppose. But like, if you're 1 inch tall, 1 grape will feed you for a long time. Or 1 chunk of cheese, one slice of salami. You'd be good to go. But the opposite might be a problem. If you're 100 feet tall, you need a lot of food just to keep yourself going. Mm-hmm. Right?
No. Pack up on a ton of food the day before.
Oh, and then it scales up with you. You don't need to eat that day?
No, then you're fat.
Well, not just from one day of eating a lot. But so I was imagining, this kind of relates to like a sort of a childhood dream of mine, to shrink down and live inside of all of my Legos. I feel like the day before, if I chose 1 inch, I would build a really cool Lego town.
But it would have to be really big.
Especially a Lego, like...
Or you'd go on Lego Masters.
Roller coaster. Lego train. Yeah, all the Lego. All this fun stuff. And then...
The Lego train... And almost everything doesn't have doors or staircases.
Well, I would build it special so I could get in. It's 1 inch tall, taller than is a Lego person 1 inch tall?
No.
Yes.
Probably not.
They're
maybe
exactly
about.
1 inch tall.
Yeah.
No, because 1
Though
inch
they
is
don't come alive.
Well, no, but like...
Unless you're watching Lego Movie.
Well, you build something really big, especially for you.
So if you were to choose 100 feet tall... What's off the top of your head, where do you think you would spend your day?
Probably running around to places that I've never been before.
You're 100 feet tall. You can't go into most buildings now.
Not buildings, but you can run across the country.
Well, I don't know. You're big, but I was thinking like a lake or an ocean, where you have like a lot of open space where you could sort of enjoy your size. Be kind of cool. You
could walk there.
You could walk to the coast from Portland, Oregon. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, I mean, you could walk there even at our current size. What other fun stuff would you do at either 100 feet tall or 1 inch tall?
1 inch tall, you'd be minifigure size.
Right. You could get in a remote control car, and I would get in a remote control car, and then I would give well, neither of you the remote. I would give someone who's good at driving a remote control car. If I were to give Eldon the remote, I would be crashed for sure.
He'd be dead for the day.
Oh, I could ride on one of Eldon's paper airplanes. He's been on a paper airplane folding kick these past 2 days.
I've been making fidgets.
A lot of paper folding happening around here.
I haven't
What other
made
thing? Can you think of
stuff
anything else
around
fun
here.
you might do at 1 inch tall or 100 feet tall? I mean, I guess you could spend a day like really easily washing windows of some tall buildings. If you really feel like working all day.
Yes, but you'd have to spend so much money on where you're gonna sleep.
Yeah, also, it might actually be really dangerous just to move around city streets at 100 feet tall.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really careful. They'd have to close streets just for you.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Oh, if you were 100 feet tall, I feel like you could strap 2 cars to the bottoms of your feet and use them like roller skates.
No, you'd crush the car.
Oh, right. That's a bummer. You have to get special roller skates made. Also, where would you really roller skate? Down the interstate highway, I suppose? Wish I get a better picture of how big 100 feet tall was. Like, the ceiling in here is 8 feet tall. It's pretty standard for a house.
That's
So, like, 8. So, like, more than 10 times the size of this room.
oh.
You'd be very tall.
I thought that was at least 10 feet.
No, it's not. It's only an 8-foot ceiling. Crazy. Does anyone have any other thoughts or concerns or inquiries about 1 inch versus 100 feet? We would love to hear the audience chime in with some answers, with considerations that maybe we hadn't thought. Eldon's got an idea.
You could play with like fish and like frogs if you're 1 inch tall.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the other way. I thought you were going to be like, you could ride a whale. You could be like, you could wrestle a shark. Shark would be nothing to you. You just pick it up. You're 100 feet tall. I mean, it could still bite you pretty badly, I suppose. Maybe don't wrestle sharks at any size. But you're saying, like, I was thinking at 1 inch tall, you'd be really vulnerable. You know, like a bird could just swoop down and pick you up, have you for lunch.
Yes,
breakfast.
but then you'd be alive the next day.
Well, yeah, according to our magic scenario, you're going to survive.
Hey, what's
You to ride.
what's not magic about going super speed or super strength?
No, I know. We do it all the time. We love our magic scenarios.
I mean, I hope that no elbows or no knees is not magic. Just please
I
don't
don't
tell
wanna
me
wake
that
up
it's
without-
magic.
All right. Well, have we?
And if you're 1 inch tall, you wouldn't have to pay for a special bed made.
Oh, right. Well, that's why I was thinking you'd kind of be forced to sleep outside for if you were 100 feet tall. You have to kind of plan to go camping.
No, because then your sleeping bag wouldn't work.
Right. Well, that's true. Maybe plan to sleep somewhere warm so you don't need too much stuff.
Yeah.
Well, have you decided?
Yes, can I go first?
Yes.
I think I would like to go first. I never go first.
Then me, then him.
We'll go down the line like this. I would rather be 1 inch tall for a day.
That's what I was gonna guess you were gonna go.
Me
You
too.
thought I was going 1 inch? I think it would be so fun to plan out a whole day of activities of like miniature things and remote control cars to ride and a Lego city to explore, and you could build like a marble maze that you could run down. I think there'd be so many cool things that you could do as a super tiny person for a day. Could ride on a gerbil. The
I
gerbil
agree
rides.
with Daddy that I think I'm going to go 1 inch tall.
Ew, 1 inch, 1 inch. Maybe we could all go the same day. Well, we gotta see what Ella's gonna pick. So what's your primary reasoning for 1 inch tall?
I guess
Kind
we're
of the
all
same as
today.
yours.
Huh? Same as mine? All the fun stuff you could plan?
Yeah,
Be a lot
there's
harder to
just
plan fun
so
stuff at
much
100
fun
feet
stuff.
tall.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna be fun at 100 feet. I don't know.
You don't know. I think cannonballing into the ocean would be fun at 100 feet tall. You'd make quite a splash. You need something high enough to jump off of, and you need to make sure the water's deep enough to be safe. But Eldon, did I hear you say that you're going 1 inch tall as well? Mm-hmm. All right.
I said
we're all going to be 1 inch tall
Yeah.
together. That's so exciting. And what's your primary reasoning?
you'd be minifigure size.
Minifigure size.
And there's so much to do when you're 1 inch tall. I agree that you'd have to stay in your house.
You need to be safe.
Yeah, you'd stay in your house the whole day.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably take a whole day just to cross this room at 1 inch tall. I don't know.
No.
But I would want to get a wrangler. You know what that means?
What?
I'd want someone to be in charge of us for the day. We need someone we can trust to like wrangle us, to like set up, to carry us on their hand from the one activity to the next. That'd be great.
Can it be me?
Huh? You're not wrangling. Well, I guess the three of us are going to shrink down to 1 inch tall. If you chose that you would rather be 100 feet tall, we would love to hear the reasoning for that and maybe some considerations that we forgot. You can email us at TheRathercast@gmail.com. You can always learn more at TheRathercast.com. And I think that's a great episode. Don't forget this episode is brought to you by Screen Time.
Which is a horrible idea, just saying.
Screen Time. Okay, so we'll catch you next time on the Rathercast. Thanks so much. We're doing a goodbye? A goodbye in unison? Goodbye. What's happening? Would you rather show your love for the Rathercast by supporting the show, or crush the hopes and dreams of a dad and his 2 sons? Make the right choice and learn how you can help by checking the show notes or visiting TheRathercast.com. You can also submit a Would You Rather question of your own to be considered for a future episode by emailing TheRathercast@gmail.com.